Hola, ¿qué tal? My name is Mariko Kanamori. It's my first time joining this exciting conference. How did you become interested in one welfare? In my case, my experience working as a cattle veterinarian was important. I had worked in a dairy farming area in Hokkaido, the northern part of Japan. The town is the largest producer of milk in the country. There are 7 times as many cows as the population. In the summer, the scenery of broad meadows and cows grazing on the grass is beautiful. After a harsh, cold winter, I often heard from farmers about community issues and health problems. When a cow gets sick, farmers are burdened not only financially but also mentally shocked, as well as the additional burden of taking care of the cow. Also, the health of farmer is fundamental for farm management and the quality of work. I realized that there are interactions between the health of people and animals. When I was working as a cattle veterinarian, I often heard about people who had died by suicide. Some of you may have experienced it similarly. In many countries, rural areas have been reported to have higher suicide rates than urban areas. Farmers are an occupational group with a higher suicide rate than other workers. Today, I will introduce some of the findings of our research on suicide in husbandry communities. In Japan, animal husbandry has changed dramatically since the 1960s. As people's diet became westernized, the supply of dairy products increased by 3 times. Similarly, beef, pork, and chicken supply increased by 6 to 10 times or more. The husbandry industry has expanded its production under policy initiatives. While the number of farmers has declined, the number of livestock has increased substantially. Since the 2000s, they have faced additional issues of infectious diseases due to globalization, including BSE, foot and mouth disease, and highly pathogenic avian influenza. We consider that these structural changes in agriculture might have caused a great deal of mental stress in the husbandry communities. Therefore, we investigated the suicide risk of agricultural areas in Japan, focusing on the impact of the type of agriculture pursued. First, we mapped Japan's suicide rates and the product sales amount estimate by type of agriculture. The darker the color, the larger the value. Both suicide rates and agricultural product sales are unevenly localized. From a visual observation, in some regions, the distribution of suicide rates and the distribution of production areas were somewhat similar. Next, we conducted a detailed analysis limited to regions with a high level of agricultural land use. We used data from 404 municipalities across Japan. Here are the results of the main analysis for men. The secular trend in the suicide rate over time is plotted for each value of agricultural production output. The vertical axis is suicide rate. The horizontal axis shows the 25-year period. The left figure is for animal husbandry output. The blue line shows the area with high husbandry output with continuously higher suicide rate than areas with a low output. The right figure is for crop output. Not such association was found for crop. Here is the result for women. Similar to men, the suicide rate was higher in areas with high husbandry production. Why do you think the suicide rate was so high in areas where livestock farming was popular? Further research is needed to clarify the mechanism, but we discussed several hypotheses. The first one is farming-related risks on individual mental stresses. Long working hours, no off-season risk of infectious diseases of livestock, and high economic pressure are some of the characteristics of husbandry. In addition, social isolation, price competition, and social responsibility for food quality and animal welfare can also be psychological burdens. General social structures in rural communities and masculine norms may be relevant in various pathways. Exposure to the death of livestock can also be related to mental health. Suicidology theory suggests that repeated exposure to pain and fear may lead to a tolerance for suicide, linking to suicidal behavior. Veterinary is also one of the occupations with high suicide rates. Some of these hypotheses could be specific to Japan. However, in terms of the social context that people in the livestock industry face, I guess there are some similarities in other countries. Besides, do these social contexts only affect human health? I do not think so. Don't you think they could also have an impact on animal well-being? Here, I would like to introduce the concept of social determinants of health, which is important in my major, social epidemiology. Many health conditions are greatly influenced by the social environment. Health is, of course, related to age, gene, sex, and the individual's lifestyle. However, these factors are also influenced by the social network, socioeconomic status, as well as the environment of the living place. Furthermore, they are affected by macro-level factors like national policies or global-level issues. Social epidemiology focuses on the social determinants of health, shown in gray. I think that the structure of human society is also a social determinant of animal health and well-being. Both humans and animals can be influenced by a common social structure. With this in mind, I have now conducted researches on health inequalities, focusing on farmers or more broadly on rural areas. In the future, I'd like to apply this framework to animal welfare as well. Here are the highlights of today's talk. You can find out the detail of the researches on my website if you have an interest. I'm hoping that I can contribute something towards an animal and human-friendly society. Thank you.